This is the Refuge Project.
Merry Christmas from the Refuge Project.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. This is coming out, what, the day after Christmas? No, the week before. This is the week before.
Yeah.
I'm getting my week ahead.
Mm-hmm. But this will probably be the last one of the year,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas to all you people out there, all my Puerto Ricans,
Yeah.
Singaporeans.
Singaporeans,
The Canadians that we love.
Canadians. Hey, all the ones in California. I don't know why y'all listen to us,
All the
but
Californians that we
love y'all.
We've never said anything bad about
we love y'all.
y'all.
I mean,
Y'all.
your government kind of sucks.
Oh, dude, no, we love it all. We are very pro California here.
Are we?
We are. We've always been pro
okay.
California,
Yeah.
and we're pro Canada,
Yeah.
and I think we're pro Iran. And,
Well, there's a huge difference between.
I'm
Canada
also pretty
and
sure.
Iran.
I think we support the Ukraine, and what else we do? What else? I mean,
He said we.
we as an entity also are very pro Russia.
Not election deniers.
That's right.
We support. He said Ukraine
all-
and
Both
and
of them.
Russia.
There's good
and,
people on both sides.
we
We
are-
want it all.
We're sympathizers to all the extraterrestrials that are visiting Earth now.
That's right. What
with
is
the
it,
UFOs.
Pennsylvania? Or
Well,
whatever.
according to what's his name, that the aliens are really angels.
Oh yeah, you talking about Tucker?
Tucker Carlson.
I mean, it's in the definition, right? An extraterrestrial. It's not somebody that's of this world, Terra.
Not terrestrial.
Yeah,
Terrestrial being
Land,
Earth.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, well, y'all could be aliens. We wouldn't even know.
Tucker says it, and he's got millions of people following him. We say it, and we're just like wearing aluminum hats in this office.
Yeah, sure.
Tucker's pretty smart, but I mean, I don't know if I lined up on that one.
Well, they also say that the
Who is they?
they, as in people talking about UFOs and stuff.
Okay,
They say that the UFOs, UAPs, all that stuff, they're not all from the same place. So you have some that are like one type.
Some Puerto Rican
Some
ones.
some are Chinese drones,
Some
some are Russian
Chinese.
drones, some are us. Anyway, they're not all supposedly like from
Same culture.
Mars or whatever.
Okay.
So they could be angels, they could be demons. That's the theory on like why some of them attack people sometimes, but most of them are like, you should take care of the planet and be nice. You know that one?
Yeah, I think like if UFOs and aliens were really from outer space, I'm going to apologize right now. That I normally can't remember anything,
Right.
but I really can't. I have the brain fog of them this morning. Did you see how foggy it was this morning?
Very foggy.
It is
Foggy D,
It's bad.
place to be.
Just getting over being sick, so I'm gonna apologize. But Elon Musk said if there was aliens in outer space, he would have seen them.
Yeah, that's what he says. Yeah,
So I kind of go along with him. He thinks they're coming from underwater,
yeah.
which is kind of the
That's always been for the record. I know this doesn't matter for you guys or probably anybody listening.
It's not we anymore.
For the record, I've been saying that since high school that
Oh,
the
yeah?
aliens are coming from the oceans.
Well, if you look like
So
deep
any high
down-
school friend that happens to run across this, I need you to back me up on this. I've been saying this for a long time.
So did you just like have a feeling?
Nah, you watch like way too many UFO this
Oh,
and that
okay,
thing,
okay.
and you kind of sift through because the best way to hide a secret is to put way too much information out there, and most of it's nonsense, but you leave a little bit of truth in here and there. So you watch all the nonsense, and then you go, "This is dumb. This is clearly dumb." But then you take little pieces that kind of connect together, and you go, "That's probably what it is."
I've been watching a lot of shows. I'm not going to tell you which ones because I don't want to be judged. On Paramount.
Too late.
And they're all around the oil business right now. It's kind of weird that all their shows kind of have something to do with the oil business. and they were talking about the Green New Deal and stuff like that. And they were just like, do you know who's like supplying the most money to push this out? And it's China and Russia. Because if we stop producing oil, like they get to produce more oil and hold the market and the different things like that. So
Just fun.
just kind of what you were talking about. Like the more you like watch this hand while this other hand is doing this thing type deal.
That's how I feel about a lot of these documentaries. You watch a documentary about something, and if it's ever a documentary about like some kind of conspiracy, something where any part of the government's involved in this thing, you know they got to get all this stuff cleared. Because if the CIA did some horrible thing, and then you're making a documentary being like, CIA did this thing, and they don't want you to know, they're not going to let you put it on Netflix. They're not going to let you put it out. Or what they do, though. But if you just do that, if you just say, no, you can't put it out, then it looks super horrible, too.
Or, somebody from the Clinton family shows up and then disappear.
So what you do is you let them put it out, but you kind of censor a little bit of this and that. You say, I don't really want you to talk about this aspect of it as much, and you just you got to put all the theories about the thing out there. And so what will happen is you'll have like an hour-long documentary about a thing, and it'll be, if the whole hour is just going over different theories about the thing.
And you have the one guy in the
There'll
dark
be like 5 minutes of it that's like, this is definitely what happened.
with his voice all scrambled, and he's the truth.
Dude, for instance, I watched some Epstein thing at some point back when people were still talking about that. And like the Ghislaine Maxwell thing. I watched some of those docs and stuff. And they're like, 4 hour-long episodes, like all that stuff. And there was, out of the, just say it was 4 hour-long episodes. Out of that, so that's 4 hours of content. There was probably about 15 to 20 minutes of it where they'd have a person be like, yeah, well, I mean, her dad worked for the secret agent government of the U.S., and he also used to be KGB, and he had connections to the Mossad, so she's probably just like a Mossad agent. Like, that's like 10 minutes of it real quick. But then all the rest is just like all this nonsense you don't have to go. And you go, well, that's the only thing that
That's
makes
the
sense.
truth, baby.
Yeah. So that's what
So
they'll
if
do.
he was, she was, then he was.
He obviously, dude, and with him, just since I'm talking about it now, here we go. So the whole Epstein thing was, he started as like a finance pro at this finance company.
But did he really?
That's what he started as. And the guy that he worked for got sent to jail for some kind of financial fraud, embezzlement, something or another. I don't remember the details, but he's doing finance crimes. And that was like his boss. And Epstein was also supposed to be convicted of whatever that financial crime was. And then it was just like, next thing you know, he's out, and now he has all this money because he didn't have money before that. And he was visited by the FBI and the CIA during the whole trial time. And so it was like, oh, so obviously he just made a deal with them, and now he's doing whatever they want because they kept him out of jail. And again, that was like 5 minutes of this documentary that had like 5 hours of nonsense in it. And you go, oh, yeah, well, duh. That's the only thing that makes sense. And then when he gets arrested in Florida and they let him out on that, the sweetheart deal that they talk about where he's like staying home even though he's, quote, in jail, you go, well, yeah, because he's working for the FBI and the CIA because they got him out of that. It's the only thing. It's not that crazy. it's like, well, yeah, duh. They got him out of this crime. They say, hey, you do this for us and you don't go to jail. And that was when he got all his money all of a sudden. And that was when he started doing all the weird stuff. And you go, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Then he was just like, okay, I'm just going to double down. I'm going to make sure I have my insurance.
Yeah. But again, the whole point of this was they'll put the truth out there because they can't just be like, you can't say the truth because then it's obviously like, this is where you want to look. So they put 5 hours of nonsense out there with the 10 minutes of truth, and they go, who knows? Tough to say. Could be anything.
Yeah, so if we don't come back and you don't hear from us next year, we did not suicide ourselves.
No, it was the Clintons.
Anyway, Merry Christmas, yo. Why'd y'all get me going on this?
I want to send a quick shout out to my son,
Which one?
Adam.
You got,
You got
okay.
like 7.
Adam just graduated
I know
with
that
his
one.
master's degree in cybersecurity.
No way. Masters? I didn't know he was getting his master's.
Master's, yeah, just graduated.
That explains why he's been in school for forever.
Yeah, just got his diploma yesterday. Super, super proud of him, man.
Congrats.
Yeah,
That's
cybersecurity. He said this was.
I'll clap for you again. You get 2 claps,
Big,
bro.
big, gigantic industry.
Yeah.
It's only getting bigger.
So, and he's been working his way up through the industry, for the last, I don't know, since he's got into it, since he's left
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A.
which was a while ago.
Yeah, so he's just kind of been moving up and doing real good. He sent me the thing yesterday. Shed a little tear. Poured out some liquor.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She did.
Not true. I wouldn't waste it.
For the homies.
Nah, but everything's good, man. Y'all ready for Christmas?
Not even a little bit.
Really?
I've already started parties, and we've got like 5 more parties to do.
Well,
And I've got no shopping.
well, you're
Really?
and I say this in all love, James, but your family's ridiculous when it comes to parties.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, well, I got 2 families, because I'm married. And so they got all of it.
But yeah, just
but
the Nissan size
but
ridiculous.
just your side of the
Dude, I
family.
got-
It's like
I think 3.
every day's Christmas. My goodness.
So I got, so my family, every Christmas Eve, that's like the big Christmas thing. Christmas Eve.
Same here.
That's when all the aunts and uncles, grandparents, everybody comes together. So that's Christmas Eve. But my immediate family, is in my parents and siblings, they always want to have their own thing at some point, which is fine. And
Eve or just any?
so over the last few years, they tried to do it on Christmas Eve too, but it's like this massive day, especially for Rayanne because she's got kids, and then she's trying to do stuff with her husband's side. So what would happen is we go to my parents' house at some point after the main party, and by then it's late and all the kids are fussy and it's like a whole thing. Or we try to do it early in the day, which is fine, but people are weird about times for some reason in my family. They're like, we don't want to get together at noon. Why would we do that? And they're like, okay, well. So we've done that before too, and then I don't know, for some reason it's always a problem. So this year,
Who drives that weirdness?
it's like it's mostly just my parents, and then
They're
my sister.
retired.
It's my parents, and then it's my sister. Not necessarily driving it, but she's got the complications because she has the kids and she's trying to get everywhere.
And she's married.
That's that's the
No,
kids
it's-
and that's
right. But there's like the other family.
And
thing,
then
too.
for me, it used to be like I might be working or something, and that's usually Ben's thing is he's working. So it's just like getting everybody on the same page at the same time. That's always the challenge. But so that's 2 parties.
And somebody missing out is not an option.
No.
Okay.
They won't let that be an option.
Okay.
Which
So what are y'all doing this year?
well, so this year we're doing my immediate family thing on Christmas Eve, the day before. So on the 23rd, I'll get
sacrilegious.
with my parents and siblings and do whatever. And then on actual Christmas Eve, I'll get with all the family. But I already did half of Tara's family this last Sunday. And then the other half of her family is doing a thing this Saturday. So that's, 4? And then on actual Christmas Day, I don't know what we're going to do because my family has lunch with like my grandparents. And then Tara's family is also trying to have a lunch with her parents. So we'll have to pick one, I guess. But that'll be 5. Or you know what? We might just say, you know what? We've had so much Christmas that on Christmas Day, we're done.
Or no Christmas?
Yeah.
That might be nice, but
What
I
y'all-
don't
what y'all
imagine
do?
that'll happen.
My brother-in-law is he lives out of the city, so he's coming in early with his fiance, and we are going to have a pre-Christmas party.
3 pre's?
Yeah, because they won't be here on Christmas, right? So
So y'all going this Saturday?
I think it's this Sunday.
This Sunday.
Yeah, I think it's this Sunday, and then we go with the festivities. My side with Christmas Eve is we go on Christmas Day with them in the afternoon, and then in the evenings we go, with my wife's side of the family. So, yeah, it's just one thing after another, and preparing for. I'm officiating a wedding for Micah on Christmas Eve,
Ooh, nice.
which is I've never done
New
that
Year's
before.
Eve.
New Year's Eve. Well, yeah, New Year's. Sorry. Yeah, which is crazy because it's over 400 people. It's the biggest wedding I've ever been a part of. Yeah, it's huge.
Biggest service you ever been a part of, huh?
400. That just clicked.
You ever preached it in a 400?
Yeah,
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I guess sometimes.
Yeah, but then they it's interesting because the coordinator, which is the father of the bride, real nice guy, he's telling me, oh yeah, so and so's coming. He goes to they go to Inspired Church. So big old multi-million-dollar church is like, yeah, so the pastor's going to come and do something in the ceremony too. And I'm like, uh-huh.
This is going to be an interesting church, right? Because you get the clash of cultures,
Yeah.
right? And then the clash of churches too.
Well,
because-
even if you just keep it within Micah's family, right? Because you got those that are the more traditional Indian, and then he's very Americanized, and then he's marrying a Latina, and then she's probably more like Chicana, you know? So,
Is Micah doing any of the like traditional Indian stuff?
oh
in
yeah,
it?
yeah,
No.
oh yeah.
they're
yeah,
dressed the traditional Indian.
Oh,
He
are
and
they?
His boys.
So am I.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm gonna be
Hey.
officiating in a full-on tradition.
What do you call it?
You call that a cashier's outfit?
Comment.
Sorry, just a joke. I love you guys.
Shout out India.
Sorry, that was way inappropriate.
I was expecting a sound effect to kind of cut
I
that a little
almost
bit.
yes.
Maybe we should go ahead and just
No,
beat
dude,
that
we'll
up.
let it. No,
Well, I
we'll
think that's a perfect segue to Culture Corner.
Culture Corner.
Yeah, let's just get out of this real quick.
Y'all out of control. So I actually realized as y'all were talking that I forgot a Christmas party. So there's another one that I gotta go.
I'm very blessed. I got both sides that do everything on Christmas Eve. Her family, my family, all get together one time. Bam.
Hit it hard and
we,
done.
We do our little family thing on Christmas morning and done.
Well, here's some more Christmas stuff. So this one is unique Christmas traditions from around the world. Fun stuff. So here's some unique Christmas traditions.
Take notes, people, in case you don't have. You can add an extra party.
Here we go. So this is Japan.
Okay.
You guys want to guess? You
Japan's
already
probably
know.
pretty close to America as far as like.
But this is a unique tradition.
culture.
So what would be a unique?
Um,
It's food related.
food related.
I feel like you guys know this. I don't know that you'll know the other ones.
There's not a real like. What's the Christian population in Japan? Isn't it a Christmas deal?
I mean, it's Christmas.
Is it fish related?
No, you guys aren't going to guess. If you were going to guess, you would have already guessed. It's Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yes.
You guys remember that the Japanese love KFC? You guys don't remember this?
I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure we've talked about this before. Maybe it was different.
I work with Japanese people. How dare
You
they
should
not tell
know
me?
that they love KFC, dude. So, a meal from Kentucky Fried Chicken may seem like a strange choice for Christmas, but in Japan, a bucket of fast food giants' world-famous fried chicken is a beloved holiday tradition. The unique custom dates back to 1974 when KFC launched a successful marketing campaign called... All right, I'll give it a shot. Kurisumasu Inwa Kentucky. It means Kentucky for Christmas. Today, about 3.6 million Japanese people enjoy KFC on Christmas. Many pre-order the holiday meal, which includes cake and champagne, weeks in advance to avoid the long lines.
Does KFC provide the cake and champagne
Yeah,
too?
that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
KFC doing the most.
The festive feast cost around 6,500 yen, which is about $45. So it's a bucket of chicken. You get champagne and a cake.
With some Schlitz malt liquor and
45.
and a little Debbie.
I mean,
Comes in a brown paper bag. And it's
You know what? The Japanese, they might be the new hood.
so that's the
I mean,
thing.
shout out to what's his name? The what do they call the dude?
Colonel Sanders.
Colonel Sanders. You know?
I don't think he was in the.
Shout out
Japan,
to the
dude.
Colonel, man.
Well, shout out to 1974 marketing campaign. Kirisumasu Inwa Kentucky. Kentucky for Christmas, baby.
There's
Kentucky.
there's this guy on YouTube that he has a shooting channel, like
Yeah.
a gun channel, and his name is Kentucky because he's from Kentucky.
That makes sense.
He was shooting his 50 caliber and it blew up. And it hit him in the neck. And the only thing that saved his life is he put his thumb in it and like stopped the main artery from
that's
just for
hilarious.
him bleeding out.
So
in
he
the
just
woods.
like went to. Did he go to the hospital like that?
Yes, with his thumb.
Like he just. I love
Matter of
that.
fact, the technology on phones changed after that because he could not open his phone because of
yeah.
all the blood.
Nice.
So they did the double click on the double clicks and stuff on the side
Yeah,
now
yeah.
for the emergency. but he made. They're saying, like, this was a couple months ago. To this point, he's made almost $2 million on shirts that say "put thumb in it" because that's put a thumb in it. 'Cause that's how
Because he just
it.
walked him down.
I'm waiting for how this connects to Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Well, because they're both
Kentucky.
Kentucky. That's it.
Okay.
Hey, I wonder. Squirrel.
I was like the Alzheimer's.
Anyway, that's a Japanese one.
Podcast.
Okay, what you got?
Here's
next?
another one from our friends in the Ukraine,
Okay,
friends of the show.
not getting bombed by Russia.
So in Ukraine, Christmas trees are decorated with at least one or more jeweled spiders. The unusual custom is credited to a folk tale about a family who could not afford to buy ornaments for their Christmas tree. The spiders in the hut heard their prayers and covered it with beautiful webs. When the sun shone on the tree, the webs transformed into glittering gold and silver ornaments. From that day forward, the widow and her kids were never in need again. So now spiders are believed to bring good luck for the new year. In addition to decorating Christmas trees with tinsel spiders, Ukrainians also avoid removing any real spiders or cobwebs from their homes during the holiday season. So that's our pals in the Ukraine. They got them spider trees. How do you feel about that? You okay with that?
Spiders and trees. I don't know. I mean, I generally don't like spiders. They
Well,
don't.
these are nice spiders that are giving you magical Christmas ornaments.
I mean, generally, I don't like spiders.
Okay. David said, I can buy my own ornaments. I don't need these spiders.
I mean, I guess like spiders should be, saved for Halloween.
Demonic.
They're probably left over from Halloween. Halloween's
Oh,
not that
that's
far
probably
off.
that's probably what was going on. Ukraine had all these leftover spiders, and they're like, let's throw some glitter on them and use them for.
That's right.
Christmas.
We can't.
They bejeweled the spiders.
That's right.
I remember Bejeweled.
Oh
I
yeah.
remember.
You know
Anyway,
the
that's
worst thing that came out of Bejeweled is these like super expensive pants now that people wear that have all
Rhinestones.
the rhinestones on the pockets,
That they're like tacky and fake.
and they're like $150.
Yeah. Those, I call those, I call that style Garner State girl stuff.
But the guys will wear them too with the cowboy boots and stuff.
They wear it with the jewels?
Yes,
I don't know what kind
super
of.
expensive. Like,
Where are you seeing these guys? What
bro,
At that church.
What time is it when you see these guys?
That Metro church. where they-
Is
no,
it,
these are
is
actually
it
like.
2 in the morning?
aren't you
down
going
in-
back to the Metro church?
No, I'm not. Why are you putting that on me like that?
No, 'cause like
you
Steven-
just,
'cause
you
like
just
Steven-
said it like you just said it. Like, aren't you going back again this week?
I thought, I
Well,
thought
Stephen Carissa, didn't they say they were having something at that church again?
No. They do it at different places. So there's not necessarily at that church every single time.
see. Anyway,
He acted like I was a regular.
yeah.
You're a member.
I thought that's where you've been paying your tithes lately, isn't it? No.
Oh man.
All right. Well, here's another one. Iceland.
They're already weird,
It's true.
as is.
They're kind of fun though.
Yeah.
We love Iceland.
Do we?
Sure.
Yeah.
Here we go with the we again.
We love
don't-
Iceland here.
The only thing I know about Iceland is there's no ice, right?
Oh, there's ice.
Is there?
It's just
I thought Iceland was green and Greenland was ice.
yeah, but it's still way up north. Look at it on the. You see
Yeah,
Greenland,
but
the big
we
one.
just talked about how fake that was.
Okay, but you can still get the idea of how north is. That dot by Greenland, that's in the middle of the Atlantic, or I guess it's technically the
I
Greenland
see
Sea.
Iceland, the little
That's-
island.
That's way above like the
equator.
halfway mark of Canada. It's still way up there. It's cold, bro. There's going to be ice.
It's gonna be ice.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Just not, year round or whatever. Anyway, in Iceland, kids eagerly wait for the Yule Lads during Christmas. The 13 gnome-like creatures take turns sneaking into children's room on the nights lead up to Christmas. Well-behaved kids receive small gifts, while those who have been naughty get rotten potatoes.
Gnomes.
The most popular Yule Lad is
Here we go.
Kurtansir. I don't know, man. It translates.
Sounds like a cereal.
It translates to candle stealer. And
So
he
the
arri-
good kids get candle stealers.
he arrives on Christmas Eve. He steals candles, but leaves behind generous gifts in their place. So
He's playing with fire.
So this is basically just like their version of Santa Claus, but
Why you had to,
which isn't so much a.
He's a stealer.
Who's the one that has Krampus?
Krampus is Germany, if I'm not mistaken.
Sounds like a German word.
Oh yeah.
Krampus?
Krampus.
Is that some kind of food?
He would steal. He would steal children instead of leaving gifts. He'd take kids.
You would eat Krampus. Anyway, that's that's Iceland. So they have like it's like the Seven Dwarves kind of looking things, and I don't understand why all of these traditions are like something's got to sneak into your kid's room at night.
Yeah.
Sneak into
Well,
your
you notice
house.
these
at
are
night.
all places that get cold.
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't know about Japan. I've never been to Japan.
I mean, it definitely gets cold.
It's cold in Japan.
Again, you want to look at the map up there, dude?
Oh, yeah,
So you
that's
see
as
where
big
the
as-
island is on the right side? That's in the same what is it, latitude as like the middle of the US. And Japan has mountains and stuff depending on the parts. So it's about the same. It's just as far as up on the map as about like Colorado.
Yeah.
Some of those mountains in Japan, it's got some big mountains. I don't
Mount
I can't-
Fuji.
There you go.
Fuji. Is that that's a food too, right?
It's got volcanoes.
Fuji apples.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of Fiji.
Oh, my bad.
And anyway,
It's a camera.
Who's that one country that hides the pickle?
oh, we've talked about this before. Oh man, I forgot.
This is where
Yeah,
I
I'm
make
up.
an inappropriate comment.
No, it's cultural.
I don't remember. I feel like it was European somewhere.
European hiding the pickle.
Jeez, get out of here.
Could not help yourself. you lobbed that up perfectly.
I did. It was.
Golly, we're getting canceled.
It was an accident.
Woo! You got more of that story? I got some.
I got one more.
Okay.
This one is Italy. I think this is a lot. Yeah, here we go. Italy.
The boot.
Here we go. Italian children eagerly await the annual visit from La Befana, a generous witch who arrives on January 5th of the new year. According to legend, La Befana met 3 wise men during their search for baby Jesus. They invited her to join them on their journey, but she declined, preferring to finish cleaning her house instead. By the way, this whole story is just like a way that the Italian men tricked the women into
to clean their
up,
house.
which is hilarious to me. So since then, La Befana has been looking for baby Jesus. On the night of January 5th, she flies around on her broomstick, visiting homes. She leaves gifts for children, hoping that one of them might be the Christ child. The friendly and tidy witch is also known to sweep every house she visits, leaving it spotless. In return, families often leave out a glass of wine and a plate of traditional treats for La Befana to enjoy. So a witch comes by and cleans their house and leaves them treats, and she gets a glass of wine.
So she's a drunk.
She's a drunk Italian wife, and the guys got her to finally clean up. That was the tradition, which is hilarious to me.
that eats too many sweets.
He's like, La Befana, there's a massive one, yeah. And she's just not cleaning
He's like,
up.
pops the cork. All right, I'll
She
clean
goes,
it up.
yeah. I don't know Italian, but that's what they sound like. La Befana, and she goes, yeah, and their hands are up the whole time like this. See? And eventually he goes, yeah, she's like a witch, La Befana. And then now
goes
she's
to
cleaned
clean
it
the
up.
house.
Because now all the little niños and niñas are running around, and they got them in on it. And yeah, that's Italy. Almost said Italian. That's Italy.
Isn't it the same?
Well, yeah, but you wouldn't say I went to Italian.
Who do you think is more of a food snob, the French people or the Italians?
French all the way. French, for sure.
It's even in the way that they laugh. You know, it's a French laugh.
Italians are very proud of their food, as are the French. But Italians they do it in more of like a family, kind of like Hispanics do. Like, you know, we make tamales, and tamales are awesome. But we're going to give it for the neighborhood too, and everybody come together. We're having a good time. The French are just like, we're roasting a duck, and it's better than you, and you can't have none.
Duck
you wish you had
orange.
this fancy duck and this fancy wine, but you can't afford it. That's the French attitude. Italians
I hate
making a
the
big
French.
old bowl of pasta. They say, "Come over." They got a big old lasagna. No. But hey,
French
dude, we love the French here too.
I mean, yeah, we do.
We love France and
Their
we love
attitude's
Italy.
terrible the way you explain it, though.
Well, when it comes to food, they're snobs.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
But they're not snobs.
Here's the thing.
Just their food.
No,
is
they're
snobbish.
both. But the thing is, the food's one of the best in the world.
Let's see if we can just go ahead and offend the rest of the cultures in the
I don't know
world.
if you heard me. I said their food is some of the best in the world. That's why they're snobby about it. Because they are the best. It's like saying Michael Jordan is really braggadocious. And I was like, well, he is the best.
Well, he's a terrible baseball player.
That's true. So now we can get with the French. They're also
Do you
not
know
very good
why
at war.
Michael Jordan went to play baseball?
Let's hear it.
Because he got caught gambling on the NBA, so they asked him to take some time off.
That's right. I did hear this before.
So he went and played baseball.
Got a major league deal right off the cuff.
Went to the minor leagues, and he decided, this is what y'all travel in? Bought him a brand new bus. So
He said, no thanks.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I got the answer to this one.
All right. Anyway, that's all of my traditions.
Right. Well, I got another culture corner, and this is the first time in probably forever since I've had one. But the top-selling Christmas gifts in their decade. Starting
I
in
feel
the
like we've talked about this before, but I don't remember any of the answers.
maybe starting in the 1940s.
All right. Good time.
Lego
Oh, yeah.
was the top toy in Christmas.
That makes sense.
Yeah. What's your relationship like with Lego?
I had some of them, but I was moderately interested in them. I was not as interested in the like freestyle Lego thing that a lot of the other kids were, where you got a bunch of blocks and you go see what you could make. Wasn't as interested in that.
You like the kits?
I liked making a thing. I liked
Yeah.
having instructions. I
Okay.
liked having a little more structure. I didn't want it to be so free form like that. That to me was like giving me some crowns and being like, go color something. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, what do you mean? I don't want to. It's not fun.
Legos are like the equivalent to adult socks in that
Yeah, let's hear it.
you just lose it. There's always where to go. It's like I just bought you 1,000 pieces and we're down to 7.
I was waiting to see how you were going to connect it. That was actually pretty good.
It's a good connection.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like there's this weird.
Which is frustrating
It's
because if
very
you are
frustrating.
following the kit and now you
Yeah.
don't have that piece, what are you
So,
going to do? You can't just go buy that
There's
piece.
probably some kind of like portal warp into the Atlantean alien world.
Yeah.
Right, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Where
Single socks are. All the partially used chapsticks are, because nobody's ever finished an entire chapstick
Ever in the history
and
of
nobody
chapstick.
throws them away. They're just not there anymore. I think it's the same place all the woodland creatures go during the day.
all the garden gnomes, wood fairy.
Even just like regular deer, I don't know where they are during the day. They all somehow come out though around the evening and the morning times. I'm pretty sure they go to the same place where all the chapstick and the socks are.
Yeah, in the Latino world, it's those cookie tins. It's aluminum tins. You open it up, and it's a running joke that whenever you open it up in a Mexican's house, it's never cookies. It's always like a sewing kit.
Nice.
So yeah, whenever we go into the stores and we see
Where's
those
the
things,
cookies?
we see those things stacked up. We're like, oh look, sewing kits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, in the 1950s,
We love Mexico.
We love Mexico. In the 1950s, Barbie makes her debut. Long-legged, blonde, blue-eyed Barbie. That's the only.
Just like we like it.
That's the only Barbie I accept. All right. Everything else is just.
And we love Barbie. That's also a thing. We love
Yep.
a few guys loving Barbie.
Coincidentally, that was the same decade that Mr. Potato Head made an appearance.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, the 1950s.
Mr. Potato Head was way more fun.
Yeah.
Way more things you could do.
Yeah. Now
Not that I was playing with Barbies.
But now, like the new school Barbie is just a reinvented Mr. Potato
Are
Head.
they still make it? Okay, so are the new Barbies like they got accessories? You can
Oh
change
well,
them
yeah,
up
the
or
whole
whatever.
empire, right? But
Yeah.
like even that's kind of hit on the modern day culture. It's whenever you look at women that
Oh, you're saying the Barbies are fat now?
they're-
Is that what you're saying?
La Bufana. There we go.
We got to broaden the market.
But it's like in the 1950s, and Barbie was always glammed out and everything. But I mean, like look at the culture today, right? What's popular, especially all these OnlyFans girls and stuff, right? Just this whole e-girl looking type thing. With the features that are just larger than life, that are completely fake and plastic.
Well, that was the thing in the 50s too.
But more so now. It's just like now it's the norm.
Yeah.
At that point, it was like, oh, look at this. This is an indictment to our modesty culture. And now it's just it's a part of the thing. Anyway, I'm on a soapbox. 1960s, G.I. Joe.
Ooh.
Play cookers, which is a little oven kind of easy bake kind of. It's not the easy bake oven, but it's type like that. Anyway, and then an Etch-a-Sketch.
All in the 50s?
In the 60s. This is in the 60s, yeah.
Etch-a-Sketch. Dude, I had an Etch-a-Sketch. I wasn't good at it.
Who is?
There was always one guy.
Yeah.
Because you can't pick up the line. You can't pick it up.
I guess
I wasn't even good at regular drawing, and now you restricted me with I can't ever lift the pen off the page. Essentially, That was rough, but it was cool. Any of those magnetic toys where it's like you got the magnet shavings and you can move, that always was fun.
Yeah, those were fun.
Yeah.
1970s. Star Wars is released, so it's still plaguing us today. I loved the original Star Wars, and then the trilogy that came out in the late 90s, early 2000s. That was okay too.
Still good.
Yeah, and then in the 2010s.
2010s is when it was done.
Yeah. No good.
I think I told you me and Tara went back and watched all the Star Wars probably like a year ago.
In what order did y'all watch them?
Well, we did this when we first got together, and we did the order they were made. So we did like 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, and I think it was when they were just starting to make the new ones.
Okay,
I think. Because she had never seen them, so we were like prepping so that we could see the other ones. And we watched in that order, and it was fine, but it was kind of confusing. So this time we did it like a year ago. I said we'll just watch it, 1, 2, 3, and then we watch Rogue One because that's in between.
Yeah,
we watched 4, 5, 6.
That wasn't too bad.
Rogue One was actually good.
Yeah, it was good.
Which was a problem. I've talked about this before, but that was the problem. It's because they made 8. That was like the first of the new Star Wars, and it was like fine. It wasn't all that great, but it wasn't bad. You were just kind of like, okay, they made one.
Yeah.
And then they made Rogue One, and I was like, oh, this is actually good. So maybe they make more, it'll be good.
And I think those were different directors.
I think so
as well.
too, yeah.
So, and then whenever they made 7, 8, and 9, it's like 7. They were trying to make a new story, just kind of expand the galaxy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. 7 was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
It was just good enough to be acceptable. It wasn't. You weren't excited, but you were like, all right, they made another Star Wars.
Yeah, and then there was like 2 directors. They did not bring one of them back for 8, so they went with their whole unique vision. So they pretty much
They just got worse.
Worse. They tried to make their own story and go back and shut down all the character or all the storylines that were being built in 7.
Which is like, what do you?
Yeah, and it was miserable. And then all the in between stuff with the Rogue Ones, and Rogue One was real good.
Rogue One was good, but the problem is it gave you hope for the other ones.
It was too good.
So you're like, oh, so maybe 8, 9 will be cool, and they just weren't. I remember I watched the Han Solo one, and I remember thinking it was all right.
Yeah, it was okay.
It was definitely better than the like 7, 8, 9, but it was anyway.
Yeah, and then all the and then after all of that, all the Disney Plus content and like Mandalorian, really good. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I didn't. I cut off. I said I'm not doing this. I'm not going.
I'm done.
I'm not going to start on this like 40-hour journey of all these. I'm just not going to do it.
I did that after the Avengers Infinity War. I haven't kept up after that.
I hung in a little longer, but I quit several years ago. So like
the new what is it? The new Captain America. I just I'm
not doing it. I'm not doing any of it.
My Captain America is like my Barbie, blonde and blue eyed. That's
done.
it. Here we go. 1980s, the Rubik Cube. I always say Rubik's.
I do too. I think everybody does. Is that one of those? What do they call it? The Mandela effect. I started to say the Mandalorian effect.
That too, the Mando effect. The Rubik Cube. Oh my goodness, is that what it's called?
I hate that toy.
Oh no, wait. No, they call it here the Rubik's Cube as well.
Okay, so we're right.
Yeah, really weird. Anyway, have you ever solved one of those ever?
Not even close.
No.
It's not even.
I pulled up
way too much for me.
I pulled up some instructions the other day trying to figure one out, and I was like, I'm gonna get it this time. In my 37 years of life, I'm gonna finally get it.
No.
And nope.
I don't want it.
And then we get into the video game revolution here in the 1990s, coming to handheld, the Game Boy.
Oh yeah, I had. Yeah.
Same year, Furby came out. And the Power Rangers. This was my time. I'm telling you, this is whenever I was a kid in the 90s.
Talk about Furby.
Man, Furby. I remember, whatever Christmas that was in the 90s where Furby came out. Man, oh man. The stores were crazy. Toys R Us was the place to be, man.
I remember that.
I loved going to Toys R Us.
I remember I went to Toys R Us and I had $20 in my pocket. Like a $20 bill because it was after my birthday or something. Somebody gave me some money. And I was looking at all the stuff, and I was so excited. And then I went to buy whatever it was I got, and I couldn't find my $20. It had fallen out of my pocket. And I went all over the store looking for it. And I can't remember if I ever found it or not. But I do remember I lost $20 at Toys R Us, and I can't remember if I found it. But that's what I think of when I think of Toys R Us.
Do you remember the feeling that you
I
had?
I was so sad, and I felt
Defeated.
I felt cheated
and
defeated. But it was nobody's fault except for mine, and that has left. Because when I went in the store, you could feel the bill in your pocket, and now, ever since then, if I have something in my pocket that's supposed to be there and I can't feel it there, I get really uneasy. I'm like, wait, where? I have to touch it.
Yeah.
All because I lost that $20 that one time, and I was like, because I stopped feeling it.
Isn't it amazing? And then all the money.
And I don't even remember if I found it.
And all the money that you've made since then, but yet you still remember that $20.
That $20, which leads me to believe I didn't find it. Because if I found it, I probably wouldn't have been. I probably wouldn't still be upset about it.
I ask your sister. I'm pretty sure she knows where it is.
But I had it going into the store. Dude.
In the 2000s, we got the Nintendo Wii and the Bratz dolls.
The Bratz. I was just talking with Tara about Bratz. She was into the Bratz.
She was.
Oh yeah, she had.
I didn't know anybody that was into Bratz.
Oh, dude. Apparently, she was bratty.
Yeah. Did she have like any of the ethnic Bratz?
I don't know. I hope so. I hope she only had the ethnic Bratz, which would be really fun to me.
Was she already being culturally
dude,
sensitive?
she is the most sensitive, man. She's.
Yeah, those Bratz dolls were weird, man.
They were wild because they were all like cartoonish instead of
the misproportionate. Like,
so like a big head and it was weird. But I get it. It's fun. Whatever.
Nintendo Wii, man, I think that was a game changer.
It was because people were like, "Whoa, I can move around and control the." That's crazy.
Yeah.
Instead of just pushing buttons.
What was your favorite game on the Wii?
Well, we never owned one until. Actually, I don't know if we ever owned one. But the few times I would play, we just did the basics. So it was like bowling and tennis and, the basic ones.
Yeah.
I did eventually play Smash Bros. Because I think wasn't that on the Wii?
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, I never owned it. So I never got to get
I was playing Smash Bros. This morning. My son
Smash Bros. I played on the N64.
Yeah.
We had that. And I got good at it there. But on the Wii, I never had it enough to like really get good at it, which is kind of sad. Because
shout out Austin because he's good on everything.
That's what I'm saying, because he owns those and he'll just get like Mario Tennis, dude. Forget about it.
Yeah,
he will destroy you on Mario Tennis.
I love the tennis. Let's see. Let's round this off into the 2010s, which we are now, and PlayStation and Xbox.
Of course,
there you go.
And I did have those.
Yeah,
absolutely. Had
those. And then we'll see where we'll see what the 2020s look like. It's probably going to be VR. I think that's what my.
You think so?
I think so.
I mean, that's a time appropriate, yes, but I don't feel like the VR stuff is more popular than just like the PS5.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'll be.
Or maybe PC gaming, because that's bigger than the console. People. Yeah.
But what is the PC
or maybe like some sort of streaming, something that involves which you can do it on those devices too. But
those kind of guesses make sense to me from like, that's what this decade's kind of thing is. But I don't know that they're bigger than
than
Again,
the-
just like a regular PS5 or something. But I don't know.
we'll see.
I'm tapped out of the video game world. So
yeah.
what do I know?
I'm tapped out of everything. Anyway, so that's the Culture Corner. Hey, we got a song?
Yeah, I got you a song. Let me so our buddy Von Juan is putting out an album in January. I don't remember the exact day. But this is like the first single off the album. So here we go. It's called Tip and Flow.
Mic check. It's Von Juan. Most underrated rapper alive. Grown and saved. Yeah, man. As the clock ticks, I'm still sick. Never shooting bricks, boys real fickle. My deal worth 10 mil. Haters face sour like dill pickles. Slice it how you want, I'm the truth. Opposite of lies, clothes all clean. Came up sipping, drink, y'all call lean. More medication than a Walgreens. CVS, baby, even Eckers. Throwback with some custom threes. Same screw like Black and Decker. Paint same color as some collard green. Edgebrook on the street sign. I'm still repping, you ain't heard the news. Might trade it in and get the bourbon new. Classic hood poet and the church approved. Street reverend, straight gospel lyrics. In my early years, used to hang with Roll. In the Vale, the free land connect. Swing on Klondike and chuck the deuce to Joe. Been a legend and I'm still climbing. Nosebleed section, wrecking beats for hours. Fan base, understand faith. Will never reach my peak, so you can keep the flowers. Flow cleaner than some bleaching showers. Most underrated, bet I ball in Paris. Rare gold drape round my neck. Came from India like Kamala Harris. Spit flames, got them all embarrassed. Beating Von, give them a hard time. They be frustrated and they must hate it, cause I barely do this music part-time. Voice golden like Pimp C. Put in work and rights like Bun B. Certified Space City vet. Never rock Adidas like Run D. MC with the hammer on me. Just to make it today, you gotta pray. Me and God got a nice bond. Overcame addiction, smoked a lot of hay. Business owner, yeah, I'm versatile. On a Sunday, I'm in a church with Christ. Midweek, I'm wholesaling land. Try to slang insurance, universal life. Web designer plus graphics too. They claim they ghost, but they lacking proof. Ask a dealer for a discount, cause the lack they sold me ain't have a rule. Billboard with my face on it. When I take risks, Christ might bless. At the altar like Jagged Edge, you ain't gotta meet me in a white dress. Big sinner, but I repented. Body count had me filled with fear. Used to try to please 50 women, now I'm pleasing one wife for 50 years. Shed so many tears like pie. Had some family members on the ride. Big sister got breast cancer and died. Had a couple homies outlining child. Way too many friends that I knew took their own life. The pressures of this world start to beat them. Regardless of the path that you own, if you're struggling, just know Jesus Christ gives you freedom. Make disciples and lead them. Remember that faith is the mission. Baptized in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, the Great Commission. Take more time to listen. Talking too much is a dumb route. Think about it, God give you 2 ears and 2 eyes, but only 1 mouth. Before you release your last breath, I pray that you find out who the Son bout. Romans 10:9 is the answer. Confess and believe, let his blood take the junk out. Yeah, confess and believe, let his blood take the junk out. Cause it's only 1 route.
There we go. Tip and Flow, Von Juan.
Yeah, I wish David was in the room for this one, because this was definitely his time whenever he was tearing up the streets. But
Yeah.
wherever I remember where that initial song, which was sampled for this one, came, and that man, you could not go anywhere in Houston without hearing that song.
Oh yeah, man. I went to Space City Church last night, which is the church that Vaughn is the pastor at. They were having, so he's launching this Grown and Saved distribution company thing. And we're probably going to put, I'm planning on putting our next single out on it, because we're supposed to be doing something with him at some point. Anyway, he was having like an investor meeting where he was just like talking about the Grown and Saved brand and stuff, and trying to like raise money for it, selling shares and stuff. So he's just like talking about that kind of stuff. So anyway, I went there last night, and I show up, and he's like playing the new album, because like I said, this is a single from the new album's coming out in January. So he's just like up in the booth, just blasting the new album, and it was pretty cool. I was actually kind of excited about it. He's like, "Yo, this is gonna be the first thing on Grown and Saved," and da-da-da. So that was kind of fun. It was cool.
Yeah, still doing it.
Still doing it, dude. He said, "This is my 14th album. I got 14 more in me, God willing." He said, "I just keep on going." Which is wild to think about, dude.
Yeah,
especially when you think of like his is rap, right? So it's a lot of lyrics per song. It's not like a singer-songwritery thing where you kind of
the chorus is just
is
care of
a lot of
50%
lyrics.
of the
So you think of that, like, per, I don't know, what is it, like 14 songs on his albums, and he's got like 14 albums.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot.
It is a lot of music.
It's wild, but
Yeah.
anyway.
No, what a creator he is.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
January.
Very good. Look out for that Eucalyptian collab.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm actually pretty excited about it. I got it, like...
How's the record doing, by the way, or the EP that you guys?
It's going fine. I haven't looked at the numbers lately, but yeah, we had nothing but like positive feedback from it, so I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
Got a lot of new stuff that we're working on. I'm excited about. So,
Yeah,
but
when-
the next thing that comes out probably will be the Von Juan thing.
Okay.
So,
So definitely.
which will just be like a single from yeah, it'll just be a single. But
Okay. Yeah. Do you think? And you probably haven't even hit the drawing board yet on this, but do you think it's going to be something that is completely out of the realm of comfort, or it's going to sound like Eucalyptian?
kind of yes to both.
Mm-hmm.
The more I keep making music lately, the more it's like hip hop esque, which is hilarious to me.
Why?
It just is. I don't know why. It just is.
Yeah.
Part of it is, so when we first started making music, as like me and my brother as Eucalyptian, we would come up with a melody or some lyrics or whatever to a thing, and a lot of times the initial idea was kind of rappy or kind of like it was more in that lane, and we would kind of either dumb it down or we would just try to change it a little bit because, well, we're not rappers. We're not this and that. We're trying to do this other thing. And so we would change all the ideas to try to make it some other thing that we thought was like, I guess, more us. But really what we were doing is we were making it less authentic, even though the idea was to make it more us.
Right.
But it was actually changing. It was making it less authentic and less real, ironically enough. And so I'm trying to just not do that at all now. So whatever the idea is, I'm trying to just make it the best of that idea it can be.
Yeah.
And so if that idea is more rappy, I'm just going to do it and whatever. If it's a poppier thing, I'm just going to, whatever it is, I just want that idea to be the best of it as it can be. And I don't want to like water it down or change it to try to make it something that it was never supposed to be.
Right.
Because I feel like we did that a lot in the beginning. And it didn't necessarily end up being bad, but it wasn't as good as it could have been if we had just embraced what it was.
Yeah, if I could put a suggestion in your creative hat of what songs to make in the future, I want you to make a song that is meant to be sang in a stadium.
I like that.
Stadium songs.
Stadium songs.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a really good example of that is like pretty much anything from Muse.
Yeah.
Like they write music.
When you say stadium song, I think Queen. I
Yeah.
think Journey.
Uh-huh.
I think like those kind of bands.
Yeah,
Just
not in a coffee shop, not a singer songwriter thing. I just be obnoxious
that.
about it. Just be so French,
yeah, dude.
you know, and just
Wee.
stadium song, big drums, big vocals,
I'm
big
into it.
guitars,
I'm into
big
it.
voices. You know, just wow loud.
At some point, we'll do something like that, and I'll be like, "Hey, Caesar, this is the one. This is the one for you."
Yeah, I want that Phil Collins drum fill. Yeah, exactly. And then it just comes in. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I'm excited about it
Yeah,
already.
no, it's good, man. I'm excited to listen to it.
Yeah.
But hey, real quick, we really didn't know what we were going to talk about, but since we are in the Christmas spirit, it's always good to talk about Christmas. The reason for the season.
Well said.
And I wrote this down a few years ago, and it is it's still relevant today. I think it's good for just a refresher. But the title of this thing is called "Demystifying the Manger." Demystifying the manger, with Hallmark being a thing and Christmas being a Hallmark holiday. And then also what we learn in like children's church and stuff is not necessarily always the most biblically accurate portrayal of what really took place and what really is the Christmas story. So there's just a lot of misconceptions out there. So this is not going to solve your problem if you are a nativity denier, but it's worth a conversation. So the first one is that the Bible This is what people think, that the Bible says that Jesus was born on December 25th. That's why we celebrate Christmas, because it was on the 25th of
You're
December.
not about to tell me that's not when he was
It's
born.
not when he was born.
Caesar.
Right? It's the age-old question. Is December 25th Jesus' birthday? The answer is that we really don't know when his actual birthday was. The Bible doesn't tell us an exact date, so it begs the question, how did Christmas land on December 25th? Some historians believe that it was a Christian reaction to a Roman pagan holiday, while others believe the date is a response to the traditional date of Jesus' crucifixion in March. So, honestly, we don't really know when Jesus was born. However, two things are certain. Jesus was born of a virgin, and the Bible doesn't give us an exact date. James, how have you encountered people thinking that it was born on that Jesus was born on the 25th?
Believe it or not, we don't talk about it that much.
What?
I don't have a lot of intense conversations about it. But this is something that I came across a long time ago, and I don't usually have to like argue with people about it. But what do they say? The general census is he was probably born sometime more like in March or something like that.
Yeah, probably going into the summer or something like that.
And they base it off of. I want to say they base it off of like some stars or something. Don't they say? I feel like they say the because the star that the wise men were following. I think they say they think it was like Venus or something like that. They say it's like they have a star that they think it probably was because it would have been shining in that area at that time and da-da-da.
Could have been a star, could have been a comet. We don't know.
Yeah, but they followed it on and off for a couple years, which is also probably in your thing here.
Yeah.
They weren't just doing it real quick one night. And they think, like, whichever one they think it is, they think it was probably, it would have been shining around a certain time, which leads them to the, like, March, April, something or another time. But I don't remember any of the details of that.
So you brought up the wise men. Another misconception that people believe that the Bible says that there were 3 wise men. That's not the case.
Oh, my.
Sorry, only 3 dumb ones. Hey!
Whoa.
But it's funny that they call them wise men because really they were pagan astrologers, borderline like warlocks type stuff.
Astrology's kind of tough, right?
Anyway. One of the most popular Christmas carols, We Three Kings, shows the commonality of this particular myth. The Gospel of Matthew describes these men as magi or wise men. People commonly think there were 3 in number because the Bible details the fact that they brought 3 gifts: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. But this doesn't mean that there were only 3 magi. There could just as easily have been 4, 8, or 10, or a whole gang of them, 30, 40, 50. Also, one could ascertain that these guys were the very first essential oil dealers.
Nice.
I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, that was nice. That was good.
Especially Christianity. I mean, there's always somebody that has essential oils on them.
Oh, yeah, dude. You got any friends whose moms is like the essential oil mom? I got a couple of those.
Yeah, we have one here. We have an essential oils. I don't know if she's an actual dealer, but she's always got some. And it's like, oh, my head hurts. Here, have some oil.
Yeah. I go over. I used to go to this guy's house sometimes, and his mom she had like 30 or 40, just essential oils,
and they were all for a different purpose.
Oh yeah. You rub this one here, you rub this one there. That'll do this and that. And okay.
You believe in that stuff?
I think there's a small percentage of it that's true. As with most things, I think they all derive from something. I don't think you're going to cure cancer with essential oils or something like that, but I don't really have a problem believing that a certain oil might help your head stop hurting a little bit.
I saw a headline today that said that Vladimir Putin said that everybody in Russia is going to receive it's a cancer vaccine that it cures all cancers. Yeah.
I'm sure it will.
You think something like that exists out there
I think it could.
in Atlantis? Or with RFK?
I think it probably doesn't exist right now because it doesn't make sense. If it did, somebody would be making a lot of money on it. So,
But what if these big pharma companies they do have it and then they don't release it?
that's the other one,
Yeah.
so that they could sell you
Yeah.
crappy remedies. Yeah, I don't know.
That's why people go and
I could see that too.
shoot CEOs.
I could see either one of those being true. To me, though, it seems like if they had, well, I don't know. I don't know which one would be more profitable to just like sell a vaccine to everybody that should,
Yeah.
that would cure
Because
cancers.
they did that with what, like polio?
Yeah,
like-
but even that was like sketchy, and it like the more you look into it, you go, oh, that's actually not at all what the story is. Because the story is they came up with a polio vaccine, and now there's no polio, and
Yeah.
everything's awesome. The reality is it didn't work near as much as they said it did. I don't remember all the numbers, forgive me. And I'm pretty sure it would. Then it came with like all these side effects that they don't ever talk about, and it didn't actually like. There's still some polio.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody had
So
it the
it
other
didn't.
day.
So it didn't actually. It only cured, I think, like one type of polio, but I forget about polio. But anyway, the point was it didn't actually do. The narrative around it was not at all near what it was.
You feel bad about polio not being around as much.
Yeah. Sorry, polio.
2025, polio's going to make another debut.
Coming back, baby.
Man.
No, it was something like the percentage of people that get polio whose symptoms are asymptomatic.
Yeah.
It's like in the 90+%. So that was part of
Well,
it.
that's a good way to make money, though, right?
Yeah,
Just-
you say,
just
well, I sold you the polio vaccine. That's why you don't. That's why you're good. It's like, well, you probably were going to be fine.
During COVID, whenever people had all those masks, they reported that there was a lot less people that were getting the common cold. And you're like, yeah, because people are not being nasty right now, or they're all
yeah.
sneezing into their masks. And
Yeah.
yeah.
There's sanitizer on every countertop. Well,
So somebody could have came out with a vaccine at that point that was like, this cures the common cold.
yeah, I don't think that like all. I'm not saying that I think all vaccines are nonsense, but I think a lot of them are. And what are you going to do?
So have you and Tara had that talk whenever, if ever y'all have that kids, you're gonna be like, what are we gonna shoot them up with?
I have no idea what we're gonna do. No idea. Anytime we talk about kids, we're always like partially like we don't like the system in general, whether it's like school, private or public, the whole medicine. Like we always are like half like we don't like the system. Then we're
Yeah.
also half like, but what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, what's
Like,
the alternative?
So it's like if you don't want to send your kid to public school, you think private school is too expensive or not. So what's the alternative? You got to homeschool them. Is that realistic? And
Yeah.
like, do you actually want to do that? And so it's just like that with everything.
you can go be bush people.
We can go be bush people.
I mean, Tara can,
And
she
that
can
doesn't
make
sound-
all your pottery, and you
Yeah.
can learn furniture trades.
That's
and,
right, dude.
Yeah, and-
Dude, she knows a little bit of woodwork.
well, there you go.
No joke, dude.
There
She
you
really
go.
does.
Just learn how to.
But that's how we are with everything.
Farm.
Any kid issue, you're like, well, I don't really like this, and then you go, well, what's the alternative?
Yeah,
And you're like,
it's not. There's not many options after that.
Unless you're just going to go buy some property in the woods and just live off your land somehow and be totally disconnected from society, there's not a lot of good options
No.
for everything.
No.
So, yeah,
no.
I don't know what we'll do.
No,
we're
our-
going to have to somewhat cross that bridge. when
Our
we get
kids
there.
are vaxxed and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and I mean it's everything. They belong to the government. Right? They're in the school system. They're
Oh,
all
yeah,
drugged
man.
up and
Yeah, dude.
yeah. I mean, we're drones right now, man.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, another one. The Bible says Mary rode into Bethlehem on a donkey. Again, false.
Hmm.
Think about it. An extremely pregnant Mary riding into town on a donkey is definitely a common myth. Most Christians believe is in the Bible. But she's very pregnant. You ever been around a very pregnant woman?
Oh, dude.
Yeah, very pregnant.
If I'm not mistaken, I feel like we looked this up at some point where it's talking about like the journey she traveled to get to Bethlehem, and I feel like I remember the distance being something similar to like if you walked from here to Galveston.
Regardless, you're a pregnant woman. It's hot.
Yeah, and then
It's-
throw that on top.
And yeah, and it's not Christmas time.
Yeah.
It's not cold.
It's rough.
Yeah. And anyway, now she very well could have made. Oh, here we go. Made the 65-mile trip
There we go. I was right.
from Nazareth to Bethlehem on a donkey. Nevertheless, the account of this story in Luke chapter 2, verses 1 through 6, for those of you that are going to go look it up, does not specifically teach this. Nevertheless, we all should consider how tough Mary was to make this trip while being pregnant. There you go. Because most of us men, amen,
Well,
can't
women,
get out of bed
everybody.
if we have a common cold.
That's not true.
Well, not you, but you're not a common man, James.
That's also true, and I appreciate that. Other people. David's sick. He's here. He's always sick. Dude.
Yeah,
That
he
guy
is
a
always
mess,
sick.
bro. I told him before we started, before you got here, I went to the bathroom, and I came out of the bathroom here, and I had my coffee cup waiting for me outside of the bathroom, and I picked it up and I took a sip, and as I was taking a sip, so I had a little bit of coffee in my mouth, I had whatever David has all the time. I went like like one of those weird sounds where it's like you kind of half sneeze, but it's half a cough, and it's weird. I don't know what it was, but I had just put a little bit of coffee in my mouth, so I had to like hold this thing in. So I like took a sip of coffee and went and like I almost shot a bunch of snot and stuff out of my nose. It was I went, whoa, what is that? So I set my coffee cup back down. I went back into the bathroom and had to like wipe myself off and stuff. And I said, this is what David goes through like every 20 minutes.
That's what he feels
every
like
day.
24 hours a day.
Came here, I said, dude, I felt like you just a second ago. I'm just I don't know what he's slurping around all in his body. It's wild. And now he's actually been getting over some kind of cold. So it's like
It's polio, I'm telling you.
He's probably got it.
2025. Dude, he's coming back.
he probably got the OG polio vax for it before they sent out the 2.0 version and everything.
What
Have they updated the vax? Is it still
was the Black Death? What was that? Was that
the
a
plague?
Yeah, what was the plague? That was
Well, they called it the plague.
No, but what was it?
I couldn't tell you the scientific name of it. It wasn't like a cold, but it was kind of like a cold, if I'm not mistaken.
Some listener that we have in some basement somewhere probably knows it. It was the bubonic plague. That's what the
Bubonic.
bubonic.
That's
whatever
the one.
Whatever that means. But yeah.
And why'd they call it black? Because didn't the bodies like turn black or
I
something?
guess so. But like that "Ring Around the Rosie" song, like the children's thing.
That's from that.
Yeah, a few years ago, I found out it's like
Ashes.
yeah, it's talking about like burning the bodies that from the
We all fall down.
we all fall down.
It's kind of it's kind of
morbid.
smart. It's kind of smart, dude. We do all fall down.
Yeah. You thought Katy Perry was a poet, right? Do you ever feel like a
These
plastic
little
bag
kids, yeah, and they
floating in the wind?
cut to these kids. Hey, we all fall down.
We all fall down. All right, next one. Misconception. The Bible says a star hovered over the main. 65 miles pregnant.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like from walking from here to Galveston, something like that.
Yeah. 65 miles. Well, I don't know.
Just
Is
walk-
Galveston 65 miles?
It's around there. I'll Google it right now, dude.
Yeah.
Before you go, it's about like that
No,
because it's like an hour drive if there's not crazy amounts of traffic.
It's hard enough being around a pregnant woman for 65 minutes.
No, really, Joseph is the real hero here, dude, because he dealt with. It is okay. Show me the miles. Show me the mileage, dude.
Because right at that part where the baby gets ready to come out, I mean, with the contractions and all that stuff, I mean, that's absolutely miserable for for everybody.
Everybody involved.
Everybody,
Including the baby.
Yeah.
So it is from here to I just typed Galveston, so it's just taking you to some place on the seawall. It says 43 miles.
Okay.
So it's a little bit further.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't want to walk.
It's the next day. You walk there and then walk another 20 miles.
I don't want to walk that.
Yeah. Nobody wants to walk that, like, not pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
Slow going, dude.
Yeah. So, but then also, just people think that she rode a donkey while she was pregnant. I mean, like, that's just really irresponsible.
I don't know, man. Would she have to do, like, she'd have to be, like, all side saddle about it? And
Even picking her up, I mean, that's dangerous. We don't even
That's
like
true.
our pregnant women.
hey,
to-
it was
to-
dangerous times, dude. She wasn't doing. She's walking around the desert, bro. It's dangerous. She's violating a few safety protocols.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
You think they got like a basket that the donkey's pulling? She can sit in the back.
The seatbelt maybe for
I
the.
don't think they got a. They definitely don't have a seatbelt.
You know. Yeah. I don't know, man. That's wild. But yeah. But to think that she would ride a donkey all that time is very irresponsible. How dare you?
I mean,
think
she's
that?
definitely not doing it traditional with like
No.
the donkey in between her legs.
No.
If she's doing it like a lady with the legs on the side like
Well,
this.
she was a lady.
That's what I'm saying. Like a lady, she would.
But she was. The Bible doesn't talk about her age too much. It kind of gives. She was definitely a young girl, but she was probably anywhere, give or take, a year before, a year after, maybe 14, 15. So
Yeah.
she was. Yeah, I mean, she was a young maiden for sure. So I don't know. Maybe they're a little more spry than 20-something-year-olds.
Oh,
so.
for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I don't know.
Different times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Built tough. Ford.
With that Ford donkey.
All right. So yeah, the Bible says that a star hovered over the manger. Again, misconception. You'd be hard pressed to find a nativity scene that doesn't include a bright, shining star hovering above it. It's definitely a nice sentiment and symbol. The problem is there's no reference to this in the Gospels. The Magi were given a star that first led them to Jerusalem, Matthew chapter 2. Then on to Bethlehem. You find that in verses 9 through 10 of Matthew chapter 2, where they found the child. In jealousy, King Herod gave a command that all babies in the region younger than 2 years old to be killed. This suggests that Jesus had been in Bethlehem for some time at this point, so neither the wise men nor the star were hovering over the manger that night Jesus was born.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that one will kind of wreck the Christmas pageant there, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure they think that the star, quote unquote, was. I want to say they think it was Venus. Was one of these planets. That sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, well, they were big in that region with astrology and all that. So,
Oh, yeah.
they. I was talking a little bit about this this last Sunday, giving a teaching on it. That especially the Roman thought of that time was that the stars predicted the reign or the downfall of the kings, right? So they were very superstitious people. But yeah, next one. We just got a couple more. The Bible says that there was a little drummer boy. We just had the children's play. It was called The Little Drummer Dude, and it was great. My son was in it, and it was super, super cute.
Killed it.
Biblically accurate, no, but we're not gonna hold that to them. I mean, I might, but I'm a jerk, right, when it comes to that. But yeah, a little drummer boy.
You should have stopped the play.
Heresy,
Yeah.
heresy in the highest. No, the little drummer boy playing his drum. Parumpa pum pum. That's what all first time parents want, right? To have
It's a drum.
a drummer. It's like I have a newborn, and then bang 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 bang.
You just
Mary,
walked from here to Galveston.
for real, and that's what I want to hear. Mary and Joseph haven't had any sleep. The birthing arrangements and locations, they haven't been ideal, but yes, please.
Play that.
Come play your drum for my newborn baby boy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Pum-pum.
Just make sure that you play it as loud as humanly possible. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. You're right.
Doesn't make much sense at all.
So where does it come from?
There's no account of this ever happening. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know where the etymology of the little drummer boy comes from, but how rude.
Did they must have just made a song, thought it was kind of fun.
I don't know. Can you find it real quick?
I'll find it.
I'll see what I
Little
can.
drummer boy or
Yeah, little drummer boy. I mean, I'm a drummer. You're a drummer.
It's true.
We've had people tell us to shut up our whole life.
That's true.
And especially, look, I had a drum set. I had a drum set set up in my house with our firstborn, and I had to take it down when he hit maybe about 2 years old, because he was just always around it. But even whenever he was a newborn asleep, you can't play it. It was an electronic drum set, but you
Yeah.
still get the strike of the pad
get
and all
the
that. Yeah, you still hear all of that.
sound.
So it's and it would wake a kid up. Where does this song come from?
So it says, is 1941, American composer Catherine Kennicott Davis. She was inspired to write the song by the French song Patapon, which, that sounds familiar to me. I feel like I know that song. Anyway, inspired by the French song Patapon, she says the song came to her while she was trying to fall asleep. Arrangement, let's see, popularity, became popular after Bing Crosby recorded it in 1962. Legacy. So it just said, okay, Davis was a piano teacher at Wellesley College who wrote more than 1,000 pieces of music. She was known for her signature style, which combined folk music and traditional choral arrangements. Song is about the... Yeah, so it's just somebody made a song, and then the song got popular. That's it. That was it. Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, let's end with this one because this one's always good here. Saying Merry Xmas is taking Christ out of Christmas. You heard that one?
I've heard that one.
Yeah. Over the last decade or so, many Christians have felt like there is a war on Christmas. Some believers see the phrase Merry Xmas as an attempt to remove Christ from Christmas. Although some people may be deliberate in their attempts, the statement by itself is not offensive. The first letter in the Greek word for Christ is chi. I won't dare try to... It looks like chi, but that's probably not it. In the Roman alphabet, chi is represented by the symbol X. So, therefore, Xians don't have to be flustered by hearing or seeing Merry Xmas, because it's
an appropriate abbreviation.
It's appropriate abbreviation. Xmas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a few more here, but we won't get into it. Maybe in Sunday school I'll teach a little bit about that. But anyway, there's a lot of misconceptions about Christmas, but I think the most important thing about it is you remember the reason for the season, and it's that Jesus was born. That's
right.
the important part. His mom, shout out to Mary, 65 miles on a donkey. Wow. But you know, Christmas is a fun time. We should definitely spend it with our friends and family, honoring the Lord, of course. If you don't have a church, get to a church, get to Elam Church, get to any church that is around you that is Bible teaching, Bible preaching. There, like we say all the time, Jesus is the reason for the season, but Jesus is the reason for your life. James, any final comments or anything on this episode?
Merry Christmas. We love you, Brazil. We love you, all of Central America. We love Colombia, Cuba. That's my boys, Puerto Rico.
All right.
Holding it down. We love you. Thanks.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, we'll see you next year, and we love you.
This is The Refuge Project.